Right, people, here we are. It's the aftermath, the day after the Southampton game, the 500-mile round trip, the second half of which wasn't much fun. I'm not going to lie, guys. Me and Alfie had to entertain ourselves. So I just wanted to put this video out there today because we didn't get a chance to really dissect it with any of the crew. No live show with all the games, again, being on Sunday. My God, even when we're out of the Champions League, the games are every Sunday. But I've just been listening to people. I've looked through all the comments, the DMs, the reactions to my videos, the reactions to my tweets, Instagram, everything. Brought it down. Listened to people on the radio today talking about what happened with Manchester United. The general consensus is, again, and we knew this was going to come, and that is that Ole Gunnar Solskjær isn't fit for purpose. But what is your purpose? That's what I want to ask right now. The positive people, I understand and credit to them, they're right behind it. But is that a new generation of fan now where the acceptance level has just dropped and this is the new Manchester United? I've mentioned it before. Alfie came with me for his first game 8 years ago and it was David Moyes, 0-0, Jose Mourinho, Chelsea, Old Trafford. I remember it well because it was a diabolical game. Everything was rosy. We were champions. We were all excited going into a new era without Fergie, something different, yet still champions, and hoping that United could continue. 8 years ago, I can't believe it's that long. Is this what's happening with the fan base right now? Is it a generational thing? Because the people who are challenging more when I ask a question, I think fairly, I think this blinded some people. I think the social media scene has changed the way fans are. It's not normal. Or is it normal? Am I right to even say that it's normal? That's how people are. Am I right to question that? I don't know. But back in the day, without social media being the mainstream conversation between fans, it was a case of you go out, you watch your team, and you talk about the game afterwards. You criticise what was bad and you praise what was good. But right now, I'm looking at it going, all the fans I'm listening to now, well, I get some serious ones. I get some people who actually know what they're talking about. I'm not saying everyone doesn't and everyone's entitled to their opinion, but some of them, it's just like blind bias to certain players, and that's where it's gone. And there is elements of that towards Ole, I understand. The question is where are your standards? I understand that Ferguson took a while to get going at Manchester United. They got it right. He had pedigree before he came in. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget the 7 trophies that he won at Aberdeen. That's why United brought him in, because he changed that football club. Ole had no experience. I understand why he came in at the start, but where are our expectations now when we give Ole 2 contracts now? He's the man who's going to take us forward. And I'm listening to everyone's comments now, and a lot of the response from yesterday is that Ole isn't fit for purpose. He's done it again, and it is swaying more towards that way. I look at yesterday and I go, my main concern with Ole right now is it's getting on now. We're into his, well, put it this way, he's going to be here 3 years this year, come December time. 3 years in charge of this team. Many games and a lot of money spent. So let's not forget about what money's been spent as well. He has been back now. He has been given the time. In the modern Premier League era, he has been given time, because I think he will still see out this season as well. And I said that, and everyone knows I said that. That's what he should get. I just didn't agree that he got the new contract. I thought, if anything, we should have just judged this season, then give it him, because it would have cost us money if we wanted to sack him. That's by the by now. He's in, contract signed, so you're looking at it. Ole has to stay. There's no one else out there right now. Conte, Zidane, I don't see them coming in right now at United, because I've accepted that this board is going to keep Ole till the end of this season. Will Conte and Zidane be available by the end of this season? We don't know. We'll see then. But right now we have to back Ole and say, right, what do we have to do to get this team challenging for this title and winning the trophy this season? Not do what you did last season, which again we did yesterday, and that's come out of everyone's comments so far. Ole doing it again, going with 6 at the back against a low block Southampton team who are just going to wait for mistakes. If that ball is hovering around our back line and in our half more, it plays into Southampton's hands, because they're full of air, hot air, running around, waiting for mistakes and hoping to capitalise on it, maybe get a free kick from Ward-Prowse, punish United. They did that yesterday. United fell into that trap. I don't understand why, and I said it before, why United aren't just setting out their stall and play the way they want to play, implementing their game plan. And again, we failed to do that. Why? I don't know why. With that calibre of player on the pitch, why? Martial coming back into this football team. I said yesterday before the game, I can see why, but at the time, I can go back on my vlog as well, I didn't even realise, and I didn't click on, and I didn't even mention it in the vlog afterwards, that Mason Greenwood was being sacrificed for Martial. If Martial was coming back in, he should have been on the wing. He's got no right to come into that centre forward position ahead of Mason Greenwood off performance. So again, has Ollie got this now, and is the rest of the squad thinking now? And I know everyone's going to say everything's happy, but Mason Greenwood had one of his best performances in the United shirt against Leeds, up front, centrally. And then because it's Martial, he gets dropped back out to the wing again. And I've been moaned at this last season when Rashford was playing crap, that Greenwood was the one who got brought off first, ahead of Martial and Rashford. Why is that? And that is a massive critique I've got of Ole Gunnar Solskjær, and I'm never going to defer from that. I'm not being negative. I just think it's unfair on Mason Greenwood being the scapegoat all the time when he is the one who's performing. And I don't care what Ricky says. Ricky still doesn't rate Greenwood. I don't care. I don't see where he comes from with it. I'm backing Mason Greenwood because he is the one who has performed on the pitch for us. Anyone who thinks that Martial belongs in front of Mason Greenwood right now, I will seriously ask the question of, where is your head at? Where is that delusional mindset coming from? Because that's what it is. Martial does not belong on that pitch ahead of Mason Greenwood. Both playing yesterday, I could see where he was going with it, trying to get Martial back in, because we know there's a player there in him, but I didn't even realise, and I can't believe I didn't realise at the time. I was that excited about being in the away stand and being back at the ground again somewhere else, that Greenwood was dropped to the wing for Martial to play central, and Martial was horrible yesterday. And Greenwood still ended up in a central position, scoring as the equaliser and making the difference when it mattered. He was in the right position, he was still there, and he still did it for us. That's 2 in 2 this season for Greenwood now. You cannot ask any more of a striker. Everyone's lauding Adam Armstrong, Danny Ings, Lukaku. And let's look at it this way. Greenwood's doing just as well as all of them in terms of goals, in terms of what he's creating on the pitch and his involvement. And I just don't understand why Ollie does this. And this is what I think. I think he's blind faith in these players that he's backed. Because let's not forget, he picked Martial over Lukaku. He had Lukaku in his squad, he got rid of him, and he went with Martial. So Ollie has backed Martial. Is his blind faith in him, in hoping that that decision was the right one, going to get in the way of Ole Solskjær actually challenging for anything this season? Because Martial in this team right now, when everyone's fit, doesn't get in that starting lineup for me. He doesn't make our first 11. He doesn't. There's players better than Martial in our team that can do more right now. And I question Ollie on that, I really do. And that's something that I took away from it. And it's the same with Fred. Why Fred? Why? Yeah, he had an alright game and he scored a goal, but I thought McTominay was better than Fred against Leeds. If McTominay's on the bench and you know you've got a high energy young Southampton team, then I just think McTominay was the better option. I just feel like he's stronger and he gives us something else over Fred. And we're comparing the pair again. Fred always come into the conversation. You could completely flip that and say, well, and I said it at the start, why is Donny van der Beek still not playing? Why has Ole Solskjær got £150 million worth of his signings sat on the bench? These are your players, Ole. We failed yesterday. That team that you picked, you had 150 million sat on the bench in quality and failed to utilise them. So that is another question that needs answering. Why? And hopefully, I know it's only 2 games into the season, hopefully he doesn't continue on that trait and then we can forget about it, which I'm thinking he will do. He has to do. Varane and Sancho now, what is proven, have to come in. It's quite simple. Sancho was tidy yesterday without pulling any trees up. Varane will make a massive difference alongside Maguire, and will help the fullbacks as well, and probably help David De Gea if we are going to stick with De Gea. But he needs to stop changing up front. He needs to stop changing Mason Greenwood around. He needs to just say, look, Greenwood and Cavani are our best centre forwards. It's as simple as that. They are. Martial isn't. Martial had a good season 3 seasons ago, and then he had a bad one before that, a pretty decent one before that. Like I said, one off, one on with Martial isn't good enough. 6 years now of him. He's had his opportunity. There's a player knocking on the door here in Greenwood who has had a good finish to last season with a very difficult year personally, and he started the season on fire this season. He doesn't deserve to be put out to the wing. He's better up front, and maybe Martial would have played better on the wing. These are the decisions now that Ollie has to bring in and start making work, because this is the season where he's going to be judged, and that's where a lot of people are coming from. There's a few people backing him saying don't overreact. It's not an overreaction, people. It's really not. It's not, because Ollie Solskjær was doing this last season and the season before, so he has to stamp his authority on this and now say, look, I'm not going to be the man who gets dictated to by the name on the shirt, because that's what he's been. That's what's happening right now. Danny van der Beek doesn't look like he'll say boo to a goose. He's sat on the bench. Do you know what I mean? Fred's in there, McTominay's in there every week ahead of him. Matic, we know, is going to be in there ahead of him. Greenwood's there thinking, I've just played brilliant now. I've scored 2 and 2 at the start of the season, and I've got a horrible feeling that he's just going to drop him again for Martial and Rashford when they come back, when Greenwood is playing better. He really is. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. For me yesterday, all in all, like I said, it was good to be back. The atmosphere was amazing. One thing I will say, off the pitch, there's some stupidity going on around with the United fans at the moment. But in the stadium, they are the best fans in the world. They get behind their team, and we was fully behind the Reds yesterday. They let us down. I said that in my match day vlog. The fans were let down by Ollie and the players because they got support yesterday. We travelled down there in our thousands, as we always do, and the players let us down. They underperformed. These things happen. The only reason we're talking about it is because we've seen it before, and hopefully Ollie realises it, that the squad he's got now, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to accept this anymore. He can change it, but don't change it when it doesn't need changing, Ollie, as well, because Greenwood doesn't deserve to be out on the wing. He deserves to be in that central role. If Martial comes on, sorry mate, you got to play on the left. That's it. You got to fight maybe Rashford for the left hand side. That's where it is. You're down the pecking order now. You've had your chance, and you've got no God-given right to start any game for this football club, like everyone. But if you're going to go off performances and form, Martial gets nowhere near it. He's going to have to take his opportunities. He had one yesterday, failed incredibly in my opinion. He was battered, and people say he's the best at holding the ball up. Oh, he didn't hold it up yesterday, did he? He couldn't get onto anything. I don't even think he was in and around anywhere. You're talking about Martial linking up with the midfield. It doesn't work. Didn't work. We couldn't make anything work yesterday going forward. Fred was poor. What does that mean now? What does that mean against Wolves going forward? Do the players come in again, or do we change it? Oh, I don't know. I don't know how he's going to go at it, but he is going to be scrutinised whatever he does now. And you know what? It was just painful yesterday because we was all excited after the Leeds game. I understand the frustrations of the fans. There were some overreactions, drastic overreactions. There were some comments that just didn't even make sense. They didn't make sense, but this is football. This is what it is. The fans are back at stadiums, and this is what we're going to be dealing with now. As for 27 unbeaten away games in the Premier League, equaling Arsenal's record. I did mention that yesterday beforehand, but by the end of that game I really didn't give a toss, and I think Pogba summed that up. He'd rather win the league. We don't care for silly records. The only record that we're bothered about at United is having the biggest trophy cabinet, which at the moment we're being caught up by many other teams, and we need to put a stop to it. Ollie needs to win something. United need to be challenging again at the top, and it needs to be a serious challenge. Wolves is going to be difficult now. He needs to really win this game this weekend and send us into the international break with a little bit of confidence, a little bit of knowing that it's 2 games a week after this international break, and it's going to be thick and fast. We need to be going into that thinking, right, this team is set, we're good to go. We can't be going into it like we are this week, uncertain again, because it's just not going to help. Because these first few games, we was all expecting United to hit the ground running and get a few points on the board, but we've not. And if we beat Wolves, good, we're back up there again. But if we don't, and all these big games start coming up, then we are going to have to start looking at the Chelseas, the Liverpools and the City games as the games that we've got to win now. Because we're dropping points against the small teams, we're going to have to make these points up by beating the bigger teams. That's where he's at right now. He said a lot of crap yesterday, Ollie, I'm not going to lie. I don't know where he got the idea of creating these big chances, and we should have won the game. We created no big chances. We created nothing. I don't know what he's talking about. We were dangerous from set pieces, and that was it. We had a few moments of individual brilliance from the likes of Pogba, who just pulled one wide. Pogba and Bruno again keeping that ball alive in the box and setting Greenwood up for the goal. A cross and a header from Bruno, from I think it was Greenwood to Bruno, which the keeper saved. That was it. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing. So I don't know what he's talking about. I honestly, that's another concern of mine with Ollie. I don't know where he gets the idea that United created all these chances. We didn't. We didn't create hardly anything. And I say it again, 65% of the possession and not creating any chances is a massive concern. He needs to figure it out. He needs to put players in position that are going to be able to use that possession, because Fred can't do it. And whether it's Donny van der Beek coming in, he's going to have to just start rolling the dice now. He's going to have to start giving players the opportunity that deserve a chance, because he's given Fred plenty of chances and he's not consistent enough. Maybe Donny comes in now. Matic, good start yesterday, faded away badly towards the end. What does Donny have to do to get in the team? I don't know. I don't know. Only Ollie knows that, and only he knows what goes on behind the scenes. What can we say? We just have to wait for Wolves and see if he does change anything. Does Cavani come back in? Is he fit enough for Varane? I'd expect Cavani, Varane and Sancho to all be starting. But then again, if Cavani starts, what does that mean for Greenwood? Does he get shoehorned out to the right again? Change the formation. Maybe 2 forwards might work for us, but we haven't seen a change in formation or any variety at all to make best use of the squad and the players that we've got. Is he too scared to? I don't know. I don't know. It's very rigid 4-2-3-1, which is being sussed out a lot now and seems to work for these smaller teams right now. Don't know why, but it's something that he's going to have to sort out. But that's the vibe, and that's how everyone's feeling today. That's what I've got. I've heard people on the radio talking. I've lost it with Ole. I've been arguing weeks before, backing him, saying it's the owners, these are the people on the radio. And now I've just seen that there, and I've had to accept that he just isn't good enough to take United forward. And I think a lot of people knew that already. We were all just hoping that he could actually learn from last season, and it's 2 games in, so maybe he can. And hopefully he can. And we can all say, look, Ollie has looked at the mistakes from before, but when you come out and you hear what he says, it sort of just gives you that horrible feeling inside, doesn't it? He thinks that yesterday was good. If he came out and said we underperformed today and we just weren't there, he said it towards the end, we faded away, but to be honest with you, we were never even there at the start of the game. We set off poorly. So, for me, what he says after the game sort of contradicts everything. It really does, and that's where my worry is. He thinks that we played well yesterday. So, is that another reason why some of the younger fan base, the new generation of fans, are actually looking at it going, you've got to back him? Ollie thinks we've played well, so we have to say we played well. I don't know. It's hard to break it down, and I understand everyone's opinions. So let's just go with it and see. He has to change it possibly for the Wolves game. We'll see if he changes it, but I don't know. Guys, let me know. Obviously, comment below, like, share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've got loads of content coming up. I'm hosting tonight on the United Stand as well. So do tune in for that. We're going to break everything down United content-wise and what is going on at the club right now. And obviously looking ahead to the week that is. So guys, give the video a like. Thanks for tuning in with all your comments as well. More comments please people. I want to get it all and then bring out more videos like this where I can actually talk about what people have said and how everyone is feeling. Get onto it people, and I will catch you on the next video. See you soon. Bye bye.